the KX News Storm Team.
Welcome back to KX News at 10. I'm meteorologist Michael Gonzalez, and we're starting off with a look at some comfortable temperatures across much of North Dakota this evening, with things running anywhere from lower 60s, some upper 50s even towards Bowman and Hettinger, where they have been dealing with more of those showers the last couple days, to even some upper 60s to near 70 there at Minot, and even some mid 70s out towards northeastern Montana. Feeling a little bit muggy as well in the aftermath of some of those scattered showers, so we could be looking at a few patches of fog as well as we get into this evening. The radar is beginning to clear itself out now that the sun has gone down. Much like the last couple days, the showers have lost their steam and things are clearing out across south central North Dakota. We have been watching a few thunderstorms that have since weakened out. This trio here is starting to lose steam really quickly as it pushes off into northwest North Dakota. Williston might just have a few drops of rain here in the next couple of hours, but these storms are losing steam quickly. So what gives with the entire pattern? These showers that we've been dealing with the last couple of days have been courtesy of this system here that cut off this ridge and stalled out over the last couple of days. It is finally beginning to drift just enough off to our southeast where we're probably going to be out of its range of influence come tomorrow afternoon roughly. And this ridge, or this system, excuse me, that cut off this ridge over here is causing it, as I'd mentioned yesterday, to slowly begin to weaken. And this is going to nearly dissipate by the time we get into the next couple days. And this is really setting up what's going to be our next pattern change, because once this ridge disappears, it's going to allow this cooler air mass up here in north central Canada to connect with this other cooler air mass further in the east central U.S., and things are going to really begin to cool down as it begins to slide off to the south once this ridge has disappeared. That'll be greatly helped by this strengthening ridge out over the Rockies, which is going to really grow to the north and really allow some of that northerly wind to funnel cooler air out of Canada. I'll have more details coming up on that here in just a couple of seconds. In the meantime, though, PrecisionCast demonstrates that it's going to be a fairly dry night this evening as we get from midnight into about 8 a.m. with some patchy fog possible across parts of central and southern North Dakota, where we've been dealing with that extra moisture due to those showers the last couple days, similar to what we had this morning. These patches of fog should burn off pretty quickly by the time we get to the 8 or 9 o'clock hour. And once we get into the afternoon, once again, we could be looking at some isolated showers and thunderstorms, a little different from what we saw today, where they were spinning around that system down towards South Dakota. Instead, we're going to have a system that will briefly push through out of our northwest, and that could trigger a few isolated showers and thunderstorms across much of the area. So tomorrow, really about a 20 to 30% chance across the entirety of west central and northern North Dakota for seeing potentially a shower or thunderstorm. Could have some small hail with it, and these will taper off quickly once the sun goes down. Could potentially congeal into a weak line just to the east of us, but it's not looking like it'll be a super widespread event. High temperatures will be a bit warmer than they were today, with some mid 80s possible across much of the southern part of the state, with some upper 80s to near 90 across the north central counties over towards the Canadian border and northeastern Montana. This is going to be the warmest of what we are expecting for the next several days, because we have quite the pattern change in store. This ridge, as I mentioned, has disappeared, and that's going to allow cooler air to begin funneling down out of Canada, and we will have a cold front that's going to roll through Tuesday, and that will allow those northerly winds to just start funneling in some much cooler air, and we could even have a secondary cold front come through by the time we get to Thursday. So as we notice, this ridge out west is really going to help dislodge that cold air, and that's going to allow temperatures to come way on down by the time we get to the middle of the week. We'll see that reflected on Williston's next 5 days, where we're going to be going from near 90 tomorrow for your Labor Day holiday to 72 on Tuesday, then 62 for Wednesday, then stabling out right around the mid 60s, mid 70s roughly as we get to the later part of the week, with lows there in the mid to low 40s. Dickinson very similar with mid 60s there by Wednesday. Lows perhaps getting as low as 40 degrees, maybe even some upper 30s possible. Minot's next 7 days are very similar, with again near 90 tomorrow, perhaps a few showers or thunderstorms in the afternoon hours. Then that cold front rolls through and we're going to be down in the lower 60s, and Bismarck very similar, lower 60s by Wednesday, with perhaps even a low of 39 there Wednesday night before we stable out in those mid to upper 60s by the end of this coming work week. Tyler?